having you and hearing your story continues to amplify that much hasn't changed.
Yeah. I mean,
right. I mean, it's changing, like you said, like, you know, like we are making incremental steps. But for you to have been doing this since 2009, bro, that's what, almost 15 years now?
So me and a lot of executives, I don't want to put their names.
No, I get you. I'm with you.
Is close, and I really break it down to them about different things about me, right? And I tell them, like, for me, like, my family was slaves.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, my last name Cohen was a slave name. Like,
yes.
I had Jewish slave owners.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to Charleston, South Carolina.
Yes.
My grandmother was from Albany, Georgia. My father and my grandmother's from Albany, Georgia. Albany, Georgia was the part before Selma.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It was a Sheriff Pritchett, you know,
yep.
that was there. That was heavy on locking black people up, beating them up, and letting them go before the press and before anybody.
Yeah.
That's how they. That if you watch the movie Selma, you're like, we have to change what Albany did to get it across. So Albany was like the test ground before Selma hit. And my grandmother was like close with that Martin Luther King. Like I got pictures of my grandmother Martin Luther King at her house.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Like just there, like trying to figure out, because it was a church called Mount Zion. Mm-hmm. And at the time, Reverend Grant was the minister at that church. So him, you know, Martin Luther King, all them, you know, came up with ways of trying to get voting rights in. And it's my grandmother.
Yes.
I mean, I explained
like
to
this
him.
your granny who can cook a meal for you and sit down with, you know?
So let's go to my father. My father, too, couldn't eat, you know, use a bathroom. You know, that's the same white people couldn't drink from the same faucet. So all you know, this is my father told me. This is not, you know, this is not like
four or five
generations.
Right.
This is my father.
Right.
My brother, right, was a cop in Springfield. If you look, my brother, Walter Brooks, right, he heard his captain say, he was the only black cop there for years, for like 20 years. His captain said, the best thing about Ireland was no respect to Jews, right? You heard him say that. He like came at him like, hey, what'd you say? They start putting rats, bullets, everything that's locked. He had to sue the police department in Springfield,
wow.
You know, and get the captain out. This is my brother. I had to explain to him, like, this is, you know, like, the fight we have to go through, you know, just being black in America is different. I said, and I explained to him, I don't mean to go off this way.
But
go,
man.
Please do.
Yeah.
There's not one generation of black Americans that haven't fought or had some type of threat to their life every generation since we've been in America.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I go to the track sometimes, before, you know, a couple years ago, I would be in arguments with security guards because I'd be walking and all the owners go one way and the security guard would be like, no, you got to go that way. And I'm like, we have laminates. Owner, you still got to go that way. I'm arguing with him, like, ready to, no disrespect to my, you know, like to the sport, but I'm ready to fight.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? And then NASCAR security comes over, and then, you know, because the security at the tracks is different than NASCAR.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're traveling. Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, you get certain people in certain areas that don't respect you being black. They don't care.
And, you know, you're a fresh brother, so you coming through.
Yeah.
And I'm
swaggy. Swaggy,
like,
you know?
So they looking like, what are you doing here? You don't look like an owner.
You see my lanyard, like.
Yeah.
So I even had discussions with NASCAR, like, maybe you should just change the color of the laminates. Because all our laminates are the same, the colors. It just says owner at the bottom.
Yeah.
From, like, it could be a mechanic to a what's the name.
Right.
So I don't get into a situation where it's going to be on the news.
And it's a little small thing like that.
Yeah. The smallest things. Smallest things that help me not be on the news.
Right.
Do you talk to them, or do they tap you to be like, hey, John, let me get your ideas on some things? So they acquire it like that?
No, but I give it to them.
Yeah.
I give it to them. Just like I tell them about, like, how they're trying to get more of a black demographic, right? And Bubba Wallace is the representative to the demographic. But I explained to them, like, you got to push all the black drivers, whether they're the lowest series or the highest series, because black people just don't go to, just because you black, they gonna like that person.
Yes.
It's like in basketball, people like LeBron, they like Steph. Everybody, we see something in that person.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you just depending on every black person like a certain driver.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
Basketball has multiple players you can pick from.
Different personalities, different playing styles,
Yeah.
everything.
Stop forcing Bubba on us, you know?
But again, Bubba's important.
Bubba's important.
It's like Lewis Hamilton, right?
Lewis, Lewis is a little different. Lewis is from overseas, and he's in a sport that's highly popular right now as far as excitement.
Yeah.
You know,
F1, yeah.
F1 racing is not better than NASCAR racing, but the environment to go to a F1 race is sexy.
Ooh, I love F1.
Trial Milan and all that type of stuff.
I love
well,
F1.
Le Mans is different. So Le Mans is a totally different series. That's a race that they have every year. It's
24-hour race.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
So Formula One. See, most people think Formula One and Indy is the same cars.
Yeah, no.
NASCAR.
Oh, nah.
So it's like Le Mans is a totally different car. It's an endurance race for 24 hours in.
It's like us riding 400 miles race. It's like a 400-mile bike race. It's just a different.
Streets.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Streets
I'm
and-
good.
Yeah.
I'll be ready to go after a 5-hour trip.
Yeah, so for Lewis Hamilton, he kind of was able to bring pop culture into Formula One with the people he was around, and it escalated what he was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bubba has not been able to do that in NASCAR yet
Yeah.
because he's not friends or doesn't have the same relationships like Lewis Hamilton.
Gotcha.
Swiss Beats ain't Bubba friend.
Right.
Is that something that you want to do? Like bring more of us to the sport, whether it's your driver, whoever it may be, or your pit crew, all of that.
I just want to bring our culture to the sport.
Period.
Facts. I was getting ready to say, like, that's what's really needed, our culture.
Yeah. So I tell people, like, and most people like, black people ain't going to NASCAR. I'm like, black people ain't go to Kentucky Derby till it's fly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And look at us
So-
now.
Look at it now.
So let's
You know,
figure it
it's
out.
made it
Yeah.
sexy. You know,
Yeah.
so now black people want to go to Kentucky Derby.
Word.
They
Yeah.
want to go to Preakness.
They want to go dressed up.
Yes,
all
yes.
that.
People who not even from
Think about Preakness and
Right.
Kentucky Derby years
Right.
ago.
at all.
Couple Instagram posts, couple
Right.
girls do this.
Couple hats and some brunches
Yes.
and all that.
People
We
looking
all at
fresh.
Preakness.
We in Kentucky all of a sudden.
That's real.
Yes, yes.
And nothing's in Kentucky, but we find out we're here for a race that's 10 seconds.
Right.
10 seconds. 2 days, 10 seconds, we out.
Because every time we touch the culture on something, it always shifts, and the popularity of it increases. And for me, it just blows my mind that like large corporations don't see that.
I think they do.
They do that, but they don't. The problem is, a lot of corporations are play safe now. They getting their jobs. They fight their way to get that job, and they get there, and they don't want to lose it. Just being safe, and then they end up losing it anyway. They're safe.
Yeah, because you ain't
Messing
doing
around.
nothing.
And you bet wrong.
You bet wrong.
Because we talk about this all the time. The same this subject matter, but like it's not you're not necessarily going up against that corporation. If you only see that CMO, or if you only see a VP, that's who you're going up against, just that one person. So if their mindset is a little off or different, then it's like, oh yeah, that company is trash. Like, nah, I think that person is trash. You know what I mean? Like, it could just be that one
You
individual.
wouldn't believe how these corporations work. Like, so the chief marketing officer still makes the decisions, but they give the money to the agencies. So the agencies get most of the money, and you got to get the agencies to kind of go what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
Now you got two fights.
It's like trying to figure out where the money at.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the biggest part. Like, a lot of people think the money, like they think like Verizon has the money, but the agency has the money already, and they know what they had a plan.
The marketing
what they want to do. The marketing agency.
Yep.
So now you got to convince the marketing agency, and then they got to turn around and convince the brand.
So you got to do 2 steps.
Yeah.
You have to do 2 steps.
And so, how insular is, like, you're with Chevy now? Like, say you're like, okay, it sounds like or it feels like this relationship with Chevy is ending. I want to now go to Ford. How insular is it where like someone at Chevy could say, John's cool, he's all right, yeah, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, they wouldn't say, teams have moved manufacturers, but for me, I told people, like, somebody, like, how the conversation came up was Deion Sanders, you know, like that whole Jackson
yes,
State
yes,
move.
leaving Jackson State.
I was kind of upset when he first made the move to be a candidate, you know.
I was too.
Yeah, I was upset. And then, you know, you see the things like, well, what have you done for HBCU as well? I put a lot. I paid for half of the cars to go on the traffic. Not even the schools I went to.
Right.
So I think I can make an opinion. I think, like, and I don't mean to go off again.
No, please. That's what
That's
this is
real.
about.
I think Deion should have left a longer blueprint at Jackson State. That's my opinion.
Talk
Maybe
to him,
replace
John.
himself.
Talk to him.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So with companies coming into what we're doing, they don't understand like how much we can change. And when I say like Chevrolet know I can change the sport. So and they listening to me and saying, John, we're gonna back you to the end of time. No other company would do that. So I wouldn't leave. That's why I said.
I see what you mean.
Comparison to Dion, he saw Colorado and was like, the gold over there. I'm gonna go. Colorado might get rid of you in 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Chevy's already proven to me they're here with me forever.
You said the equity play, like that's all
the
important
equity
right there.
play is important.
And it took you how long to get to this way with Chevy?
Oh man, I only got to him 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and honestly, it wasn't because it was kind of my fault. Let me take that back. It wasn't my fault. It kind of was not me being aggressive with different companies.
Interesting. Describe this aggressiveness. What do you mean?
Meaning,
by
like, before George Floyd, I'd be like, I never said I was black in NASCAR. I just wanted to be an owner that happened to be black in NASCAR. I didn't want to be like looked at as being a diversity play.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I seen
That
all
box
these,
check again.
Yeah, and then I seen everybody that wasn't part of diversity getting money that I should have got years ago.
Right.
And I'm like, how are they getting money? They not even diversity.
Right, they're not even.
How is that a diversity play? And that's not even diversity. So that's when I changed it. Like I want my money.
Yeah.
right.
You're saying diversity, and now I don't mean to say my money from Chevy.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You're giving out.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want an opportunity and you want to have access to those resources.
Yes.
Right.
It's a fact.
Yeah, I want what you're doing, what you put on paper on a newspaper that you're going to help diversity, help black-owned businesses. I want my just do what you're saying out there.